You ever come home arms loaded with snacks, sun beating down already, daydreaming about sinking into your own pool and just shutting out the world? Yeah, that was me, until I opened my backyard gate and felt my soul leave my body. Picture this, a bunch of random kids cannonballing into my pool, wet footprints on my deck. Someone's half-eaten gummy bears squished between my toes. For a second, I thought maybe I'd walked into a parallel universe. But then I spotted her, my neighbor Karen, lounging on her porch like she was the queen of HOA. Big sunglasses, mimosa in hand, smirking like she'd just pulled off a perfect crime. And she had just not the kind you go to jail for, but the kind that makes you want to scream into a pillow. She waved all casual, welcome home. We turned your pool into a community oasis, and I'm standing there thinking, you have got to be kidding me. Turns out, while I was out buying chips and salsa, Karen was online telling the whole neighborhood Facebook group that I'd volunteered my pool for everyone's use, that I was just that generous, that I even cleared it with the HOA and had safety checks and everything. People were leaving comments like I was the hero of the block, me the guy who just wanted a quiet swim. Within an hour, my backyard had turned into the set of a reality show I never signed up for. Strangers everywhere. Someone's aunt twisted her ankle on my sprinkler. A dad broke my diving board trying to show off. And a teenage girl was live streaming from my deck with a caption, "At the free community pool." You know what I mean? It was straight up madness. I tried talking to Karen, but she just shrugged, didn't even look up from her phone. You weren't using it, she said. Like that settled it. Then told me not to be selfish and share the water. That was the moment I realized logic had left the building. Just when I thought it couldn't get dumber, the HOA president showed up at my door looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Hey, got some complaints about pool safety now that it's public. Board thinks you should install a child safety gate. Maybe assign lifeguard coverage? I actually laughed. I told him it's not public, Don. Karen just made that up. He just gave me that look, the one people give when they know it's insane, but they're too tired to fight it. I realized I could argue all day and nothing would change. So I decided if they wanted chaos, I'd give them chaos on my terms. Scrolling TikTok later that night, I saw this wild trend where people were turning pools into slime pits. Neon green, goo everywhere. Total mayhem, everyone screaming and laughing. I thought, why not? So I DM'd this guy called Jaden, he's like the slime king of TikTok, and told him my story. He loved it, said he'd drive over with his crew and make it legendary. The next day, I'm prepping for a showdown. Hoses, buckets, and no joke, 16 massive boxes of slime concentrate enough to flood a football field. While I'm stacking boxes, Karen is out passing flyers door to door. Let's keep our community pool open. She even put my face on it like I was running for public office. By sunrise, she's got a yoga class happening on my deck, complete with flute music and all. I step out and some lady in spandex whispers, "He looks tense. Maybe he should join." I nearly lost it, but held my tongue barely. That was the twist for me, not just chaos, but full-blown wellness retreat mode. And just when I needed a break, my buddy Mike, who I hadn't seen since college, dropped by with a six-pack. Heard about the party, man. Figured you could use backup. Suddenly, it didn't feel like I was alone in a bad sitcom. We sat there watching the circus unfold, laughing at the absurdity, making bets on who would be the first to slip. Then came the main event. Jaden rolled up in a van with a bunch of TikTokers dressed like bananas and chickens, carrying drone signs and inflatable ducks. We mixed the slime thick and radioactive green and dumped it into the pool. The whole thing turned into what I can only describe as a Nickelodeon fever dream. Cameras everywhere, people belly flopping into the goo, Jaden leading a chant slime for the people. And Karen, stepping onto her porch, mimosa raised, expecting applause but getting hit with a wave of green chaos. She screamed at the crowd, threatened to call the cops, accused me of environmental terrorism. I told her, "You said it was public, Karen. We're just being neighborly." Cops showed up. Of course they did. But we had it all covered: waivers, signed safety checks, noise levels within city ordinance. Even the cop couldn't help but laugh, told Karen, "Unless someone's trespassing, it's legal." She stormed off, slipped in the grass, landed right in the slime. The drone caught it all. That clip alone hit 1 million views by dinner. The comments, pure gold. By sunset, the whole thing had gone viral. News outlets called a toy company, offered to sponsor a slime awareness event, and the HOA had to hold an emergency meeting. Karen walked in with a binder thick enough to stop a bullet ranting about property values and public shame. But I had screenshots of her Facebook posts, the waivers, even the cops' report. For once, the HOA sided with me, suspended Karen from all event planning and group chats for 6 months. She stormed out, slamming the door so hard the chair fell over. You'd think that was the end, but Karen tried one last. Hail Mary taped a letter from some discount law firm to my door demanding damages for emotional distress and grass trauma. My cousin's a lawyer. He laughed so hard he nearly choked, sent a reply that basically said, "Try again." After that, it was quiet, almost peaceful. Even the kids next door called me Slime King when they saw me. The green finally faded, and for the first time all summer, I got to sit on my own deck with a cold drink, just breathing in the calm. No chanting yogis or screaming kids, just me and the sunset. Then a neighbor stopped by, handed me a fruit basket, and said, "Sorry for believing her. That slime party was legendary." And as I watched Karen peek through her blinds, I just smiled, knowing she'd think twice before turning my backyard into her own empire again. So let's settle this. Did I go too far, or was that just standing up for myself? Drop a comment. Tell me, if your neighbor tried to make your pool public, would you fight back with slime or just let it go? Where do you draw the line between community and chaos? Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that sometimes you have to get a little messy to make things right.